There you go. As always, something has to go wrong. Give me 1 second while I get my screen back on. Come on, guys. Don't let me down. Yes, this is the screen I was looking for. So here we have the new dashboard that I was working on. I'm going to fine tune this so it can be much better on the screen. Fear and greed index is at 15. We have not seen that for quite a while. So that's something to note. And we have S&P 500 down 0.53%, NASDAQ down 0.65%. VIX is up 5.14%, and 10-year yields are down 0.46%. That indicates that trouble in economy is expected. And then you have gold, which is up 0.26%. Gold has gone way beyond where I expected it to be. I thought at the most 3,050 and then bounced back. So I sold my gold in that range. But I think I made a mistake. It has still got more juice out there. And probably the uncertainty that will be created by the tariffs could spur gold further. Now, on to the top headlines that I'm looking at out here. I think that these are the relevant headlines for today. Treasury yields are little changed as investors await rollout of Trump's tariffs. So after 4 o'clock, the treasuries could change, and that could also impact gold as well as the stock market. And we have investors turning bearish on the US dollar as Trump tariffs loom. So I think I have mentioned this before in my previous video, but if you remove all the underpinnings of what makes US special and the so-called US exceptionalism is taken away, then how can the US dollar survive as a reserve currency? Those are the questions I think investors are starting to ask. And Trump is set to roll out sweeping new Liberation Day tariffs. This is going to happen after the market close around 4 p.m. And knowing Trump events, it may not exactly happen at 4. It could happen at 4:30, but it will be after the market hours. And we are expecting clarity. Now, that's a big ask from this administration, because I would suspect that it's going to be potentially a blanket for everybody, and then there will be discussions to fine tune it, and some countries will be treated better, others will be penalized, the dirty 15, and so on and so forth. So that will lead to even more uncertainty, and when uncertainty is there, the stock market doesn't appreciate it. And on the geopolitical front, you have got Israel, which has seized parts of Gaza as military operation expands. So we should not forget the Middle East, and that can have an impact on oil prices. And then you have US reaffirms commitment to Taiwan as Beijing conducts live fire drills in East China. This was waiting to happen before Trump came in. When Biden was the president, we were already worried that the Russia-Ukraine war is going to give an opportunity for China to attack Taiwan. But now that Trump has come into power, and he's talking about taking over Greenland, making Canada the 51st state, and taking over Panama Canal and those kind of things, and the trade war which has broken the unity of the Western Front, it was about time for China to make these kind of moves. And at the same time, we cannot believe the US, because Trump has proved in the past that he may say something today, he may change his mind tomorrow. So there is no ironclad guarantee for Taiwan that it's going to help. And this could have an impact on all the semiconductor sector because TSMC is out there. Now, after that, I think I would like to also draw your attention to the last one, which says investors are making a panic move not seen since the start of the pandemic. This comes from Daily Mail. And it talks about investors piling on into gold. And that's why gold has gone way beyond where we expected, 3,050. It's gone way above. And when it comes down, it will come down fast as well. But I don't know it's going to come down anytime soon, because everything that we are seeing out here is setting us up for more problems. Now, let's go on directly to our TradingView platform. And in this, I'm going to go straight to S&P 500 futures. And if you look at the futures, it's nowhere near our projected target of, I think, 5,156, which is the bear flag target. Instead, it had gone up. And today, we started off in the futures just below our resistance at 5680.25, and we kept on going down. And right now, we are right above our support of 5,639.00. We are flirting around that, and we may or may not open below that line. If we open below that line, this is going to be our first line of resistance, 5639.30. And then our line of support for today is going to be 5566. So that's the range that I'm seeing. On the top, you have very strong resistance, 9-day exponential, as well as 5680. Next, let's go on to NASDAQ. NASDAQ is already below the area of heavy selling, which is this red line out here, bounded by 19540.50 on the bottom. And that's going to be our strong resistance today, because it's combined with this diagonal line of resistance, which happens to be at 19532.00. So we're already below that, and our support for today is going to be 19107.00. So if we did fall, there's a long way to go down. And for the sake of more granularity, I'll put a support out here, because in the past, this was the bottom from which we moved off. I'm going to just expand this into a thicker line. And this line happens to be at 19,239. So expect a little bit of support at 19,239. And if we break below that support, then this diagonal line of support is going to provide us support as 19,107.00. And the resistance is going to be the 9-day exponential at 19,727.81, along with the horizontal line of resistance, which you see up here. Narrow range for movement out there on the top, but big fall on the bottom. Then we look at dollar index. Dollar is getting weaker on this one, and the 10-year yields, they are still straddling this diagonal line of support this morning. Very strong support out here, along with the horizontal line of support at 4.139. And if we fall below this, then I think we have this target out here at 3.560. 4 p.m. would give us an idea of what's going to happen in this area. Just because we have bear flag doesn't mean that it always has to lead to the bear target, but fundamentals can change, news items and catalysts can change the trajectory. With that said, let's go on straight to our indicators. S&P 500 was left yesterday between the resistance. Let us draw this as a red line between the resistance, which was at 5659, which is a very strong resistance combined with the 9-day exponential. And it had a support out here, the diagonal line of support at 5558. It managed to stay within those ranges as we had predicted. But today, I think we'll see what happens after 4 p.m. because anything in between is going to be a whole lot of volatility based on rumors coming in from the White House and other places and some influential voices on YouTube and other media. NASDAQ, again, managed to break up about this diagonal line of resistance that were there from the previous day, and that held up as a good support, and that will continue to be a support today at 19208.96, and our resistance is going to be 19469.23. And if we break this resistance, then our next resistance is the 9-day exponential at 19628.25. So that's the range I'm expecting that we are going to be moving within. And then we have the VIX. As I said, the VIX has got a resistance out here, this diagonal line of resistance. I'm going to make it a bit thicker. If it breaks through above that, then I think we are in trouble. And gold has been going up. I was hoping that we would turn down from this diagonal line of resistance, test some support. I was expecting this support line to be tested and then move up. So I sold my GLD, but I'm thinking that I was a bit premature. But it's okay. I got profits there. And I'll buy gold when it comes down again, because I don't think this can be sustained. But you never know what happens after 4 p.m., especially with all those geopolitical aspects that are happening in the Middle East and Russia, Ukraine, and Taiwan. They are adding to the uncertainty. And also, if the 4 p.m. declaration is not a clear-cut declaration of tariffs, then there's going to be uncertainty out there. It will be like whatever Trump fancies, those countries and those items will be exempt, like SpaceX might be exempt for its imports from China. So all those kind of irregular things might come in. All of that can take away the sheen from the US dollar as a reserve currency and help the BRICS. That's what I'm thinking is likely to happen out there. Let's have a quick look at XLP, because XLP was something that we were watching. And we are moving, we are inching up towards this end of activating the reverse head and shoulder. And once the reverse head and shoulder gets triggered, then I think we have a target of somewhere around 91.89. In pre-market trades, I am seeing XLP going up 0.20%, which is what this red candle is all about. We'll see how it evolves. The gap fill has already happened, so that's one positive out here. And golden crosses are taking place. That's another positive. MACD has become bullish. That's another positive. Momentum is picking up. That's yet another positive. After 4 p.m., maybe we could see a spike in the after hours trading, or even during the day, depending on the rumors, we could see either a spike upwards or downwards. So that's what I'm looking forward to out here. Let's go on to AI. And today it will make more sense to talk about ranges because it's going to be a volatile day. And I'm thinking that for NVIDIA, the range today is going to be on the top. We are going to look at 111.00. And on the bottom, we are looking at 106.97. Right now, we are at 108.15, which is within this area of heavy resistance, and we'll see what happens when the market opens. The ultimate support is going to be 105.97 for the day. Next, let us go and look at Meta. Meta is above this line of support, which is at 581.20. I suspect, let us just mark this as green to begin with. So yesterday we ended on the top out here. And right now, we are at 577.90. So let me once again have a look at this. This is 581.20. And our pre-market says we are at 577.77. So we are already below that. So I'm going to mark this reluctantly as a resistance. And we have this 200-day exponential, which is sitting at 578.00. So we are below that as well. So it's going to be a very strong resistance today for Meta. And it's going to be 578.00. And our support is going to be this line of support out here. Let me make this a little thicker out here so it can be seen. And it happens to be at 550.79. That's what we have out here. And let me also look at the chat section to see if everything is going well. So far, so good. I'm going to respond to all the chat comments in a very short while as soon as I finish the analysis out here. Next, let us go on to look at Google. Google is down 0.55, and we have a support out here at 154.92. I think that's going to be the support that's adequate for today. And on the top, we had this diagonal line of resistance. Let me make this a little thicker so you can see it in the small screen. We broke out above this diagonal line of resistance yesterday. And so I'm going to mark it green right now. We are still above it. This diagonal line of resistance today is going to give us, this diagonal line of support today is going to be a support at 157.84. Right now we are at 158. So we are just above this line of support. If we broke down below it, our next support is 154.96. And on the top, we have resistance from the 9-day exponential sitting at 162.47. which is this thick wavy line that we are seeing out here. MACD is bearish, but momentum is picking up. We will see what happens out here. But the PE for Google is very low. So I'm thinking that Google will be the strongest among all the Mag 7s that we see here today. Have managed to dollar cost average into Google a little bit and also into NVIDIA a little bit. And then we have Amazon. I have not yet been able to break into Amazon. I'll try to buy it today. Amazon has got a resistance today at 191.79. Right now it's at 189.28. And its support is at 184.17, which is this green line out here. So this is the range within which I'm expecting Amazon to move. Because on the resistance side, we also have this diagonal line of resistance combining with the horizontal line of resistance. So it's very strong. MACD is declining and momentum is below average. So that's the range for Amazon. For Apple, on the top, we have the 200-day exponential sitting at 224.28. That's going to be our ultimate resistance. We also have the 20-day exponential sitting at 223.29, which is also going to perform the role of a resistance. And in terms of support, I think we have the first support at 218.37 and the second support at 216.31, which is this diagonal line of support coming from a long distance. So this is the ultimate support that we will have. MACD is still bullish. Momentum is still above average. So things could change for this. For Apple, Apple has shown a lot of resilience and it still appears to be in some kind of a bull channel, unless that is dispelled by this 200-day exponential moving average. I'll assume that Apple has a natural buoyancy. Next, let's go on to Microsoft. Microsoft is down 0.64%. And the resistance that we had earlier at 380.20 has been pierced yesterday. So that becomes a line of support. And today we are above that. We are at 379.71. So I'm thinking that, let us see where it is, 379.74. It is below 380. So this is going to become a line of resistance for us again. So whatever we achieved yesterday has been given up today. And so that's where we are for the day. So this is going to be our resistance, and our support happens to be at 367.67. And also we have a support in this diagonal line of support coming from bear channel. It's at 370.49. So 379 is just putting us slightly below the resistance out here at 380. We may or may not open above that. If we did open above that, then our 9-day exponential sitting at 384.78 is going to be our resistance. That's the range in which we are going to trade. Tesla is down 2.54%. This is a very messy chart. Tesla is likely to be more volatile today because of its ties to the Trump administration and the potential exemption from tariff. So I think I'll let alone Tesla. Anyway, I'm not touching that stock. Oracle is down 1.08%. It's below this line of resistance from before. This is the horizontal line of resistance sitting at 142.88. It's going to continue the role of a strong resistance combined with the diagonal line of resistance sitting at 143.41. And our support for today is going to be 135.69. I'm going to increase the thickness of this diagonal line of resistance so it can be seen in smaller screens. So this is the lay of the land for Oracle. AMD is down 1.23%. It's below this diagonal line of resistance that we see here, just thickening it out a little bit for everyone to have a look at it. And if we break through this diagonal line of resistance by some miracle, the 9-day and the 20-day exponentials are sitting together at 105.58. So that's going to be the next line of resistance. Our support today is going to be 95.11, which is this diagonal line of support from a previous channel. Next, we look at SMCI, which is down 2.57%. And this line of resistance we had at 34.68 has now become a line of resistance for us. It was a support yesterday. And now we are below that, and our support for today is going to be 31.25. So the range that we are looking at is on the top resistance at 34.78 and the bottom support at 30.97. Broadcom is down to 166.90, which is down minus 0.96%. Our resistance happens to be 169.67. Our support happens to be 160.09. It's clear cut out here. Palantir is down 2.81%, and it's at 82.15. Our diagonal line of resistance out here, I'm just going to make this a little thicker so that it can be seen on the smaller screen. And for today, it's at 94.77. So that's the resistance up there. And also yesterday, we fell below this support of 83.68. So I'm going to mark that a little thicker line as well as red in color. So that's our resistance today, 84.19, which is the first line of resistance. And the first line of support for us is 73.34. I'm just going to make this line a bit thicker. It's a support line that's been coming with us for a long time, and it's 73.90 out there. So that's the range for us. On the top, we have the resistance at 83.68. If we open above that, then our 50-day exponential and the 9-day, which are joining together, somewhere in the region of 87.72 and 88.39, they are going to be the resistances at the next level. And then let's go on to SMH. SMH is down 1.22%, and it's fallen below yesterday's opening. So it's absolutely bearish out there. The support it has is at 201.22, and the resistance it has, in my opinion, is the 9-day exponential at 218.40. Then let's go on to look at Rigetti. It's falling. It's in a free fall. It's fallen below this diagonal line of support from before. I'm going to mark this red reluctantly. It's falling down 200-day exponential. It's going to be its support. SMR is down 2.66%. It's going to fall further. I don't think I need to put any lines of resistance or support. I don't think any of our viewers are looking at it. It's just for my own interest. AV is down 0.24%. Maybe the geopolitical issues can give it a little bit of a boost today. I'm hoping for some positive out there. Tempest AI for hot dog, it's down 3.30%. It's still, I think, just on top of this diagonal. No, it's fallen below the diagonal line of support. So I'm going to make this a resistance. Guys, it looks like Tempest AI might suffer today, and it's already fallen below the line of support, and its next support is 42.90. That's what I'm expecting for Tempest today. And if it fell down below 42.90, the next support is 35.92. CELH continues to stay above the support line, which is at 35.24. We are at 35.49, being supported by the 200-day exponential at 35.75. I'm sorry to report that we have fallen below that in pre-market trade, and that's going to be the resistance for us today, 35.75. And the next resistance is going to be up here at 41.59. That's going to be the next resistance after that. And in terms of support, 9-day exponential sitting at 34.05 is going to be the line of support for us out there. So that takes me to the chat window, and let me look at what people have been saying here. Thanks, Inf and Hot Dog, for joining me today. And we'll witness history in the making, is what I said. I'm ready to be liberated, is what Hot Dog is saying. Great. The fear greed gauge is down to 15. Yes, it's gone down significantly. Inf has a question. My mission to claim all of India as the 11th Canadian province is in working out as planned. Do you have it? I would say that being a Punjabi Sikh, you better be careful out there with talking about Canada, because most of India seems to be anti-Canada because of what happened during Trudeau's regime. Things are changing a bit. Just let it go. I like bonds more than gold. Yeah, I can agree to that. But with bonds and gold, you have to be very careful. It can turn around. So you have to be looking at that. And then we have Hot Dog saying, I like silver right now. Yes, fortunately for me, I have silver in place. And I still have it in my portfolio. It's going up. I have around 300 of PSLV, which is the Canadian Silver ETF. Yeah, it's looking good. There's still room for us to catch silver. I'll just take you to the PSLV chart just to prove my point, or to illustrate my point. So we have PSLV out here. We have this bull channel, which is helping us. The 9-day exponential has held it up. And we have this long-term diagonal line of resistance, which is coming to us from a while now. And that shows that we still have plenty of room for PSLV to go up. So I'm holding on to my PSLV. And yeah, that's what I have there. Let's go back to the chat window. Is there any tickers that you want me to look at or to consider for my own personal use? Please let me know. Or else I think we are done for the morning. And Hot Dog, check your email. I've written a reply to you. I was hoping that we could do a segment on a weekly basis on China and the markets down under, because that can give us some kind of idea. It'll be an interesting addition, and we'd like to see you on the screen. We could record that and do it once a week. That's what I wrote in my email. Just check that out. Think about it. And I don't know your schedule. You may still be flying here and there. If it's feasible, you're most welcome to join us. And we could think of other videos also that we can do on a weekly basis with you and Inf joining me. We could work on some things like that. So with that said, my friends, I would like to end this live stream, and I will catch up with you again later on. I'll go back and I'll start buying some stocks and selling some stocks, play the volatility a little bit. I'm trying to use the 5-minute charts and trend lines to do a little bit of day trading today. So wish me luck, and I'll catch up with you again tomorrow. Bye for now.